Well, let's recap the game. And when you watch the film, the thing that jumps at you is the first 4 drives that we had on offense. We're sitting there, we have 171 yards and 17 points, and we're rolling pretty good. Then we had some negative plays there in the second quarter, a sack or a big tackle for loss that really put us behind the sticks. Jumped off sides on the 3rd and 1, so we got in a little rut in the second quarter. But we're sitting there at halftime in good position, especially with the big interception. And I felt like that 3rd quarter was going to be critical for us. And we started off great on defense in the kickoff unit, and we get the ball in the plus 39. And then you look at that 3rd quarter, and we had some critical plays that I think just got us into a rut. We dropped 2 third down balls. That would have been conversions and big plays for us. Both of them, had we caught it, we'd been on the 20-yard line going in, ready to get points. We dropped, couldn't come down with a post pattern that was wide open. It was probably 100 yards of plays on 3 occasions. And then all of a sudden, UAB gets life. We didn't play on the other side of the ball with any toughness or effort that we need to play with, and that's why we really didn't slow them down all game. The good news was we didn't turn the ball over, which is extremely important. We only had 20 yards in penalties, which was good, even though some of them were critical. 3 of them were on 3rd down. I felt like we controlled the field position in the kicking game. When you look at their drive start and ours, and we played well in the red zone, so we forced them to field goals. And I think those were the things that kept us alive and had us a chance to win it. And our injury situation right now, it looks like we still are going to have about 6 guys out this week. The 3 that have been out for the year, plus Cody Pope, Schofield, and Bartholomew. Nothing tells me that they'll be back. Art Evans, Herman Lathers, Torian Poole, and Gerald Jones will be day-to-day. We'll find out more tomorrow. But there's a chance all 4 of them could play, and we need them to play. We gave them today off, and yesterday. We watched the film yesterday, had a lot to correct. Usually there's a point, during this season where you want to give them 2 days off. I think 2 days is important periodically. Physically, it's important psychologically. I think there's a big jump in recovery with 2 days, and I felt like our team was at that point. Normally I do it about 5 weeks into it, but then we only had 1 more week and then an open date where you can give them some time too. And given where we are with our injuries and our depth, the way we played the other night, I just felt like we need to take a couple of days here. They need to clear their minds and get physically well. We need to evaluate our personnel, where we are and where we need to go these next few games, and come in tomorrow ready to go. Challenge this week is obvious. Talented program, deep, one of the winningest in the country the last 10 years. Phenomenal on defense and special teams. I think they're number 1 in kickoffs, punt returns, 3 in kickoff returns. So much team speed. Defense, they're giving up 12 points a game. They're number 1 in the league in total defense. 6 interceptions, 2 scores on special teams. As good as anybody out there. The bigger challenge besides that is it's going to be the first road game for about almost half of our travel squad. I think I counted about 30 guys out of we'll probably travel 66 to 68 guys. 30 of them have never even been on a road trip at Tennessee. So we'll have to talk a lot about that and how we handle it professionally and how we handle the crowd and a hostile environment. So a lot of challenges this week.
Do you do anything like some coaches do that play Rocky Top to get ready? Is there anything that you do in preparing for an away game?
Well, I was going to paint the field, That didn't work for Oregon State. If they had beaten Boise, I might have put a big eye on our field, you know. We'll do crowd noise, which we've done some crowd noise for home. We'll probably do a little more crowd noise. Maybe play a few songs, just so it won't be the first time they hear them. But I think it's also important just to talk about it. It's hard, you know, I don't know how you simulate Tiger Stadium unless we had a practice and we had all our fans come to Neyland and just start screaming against us, because that's what it's like.
You mentioned personnel, evaluating personnel. What personnel areas are you looking at?
Really all of them. You know, where some of our younger guys are, do they need more reps and playing time? Where some of our older guys are they performing the way we need to perform? I just think it's something you always do. You know, we got 4 games in, and you go another 4 games, you need to do it again. So you can't, I don't think you should ever stop evaluating your personnel, and I think the players need to know that. And it's not personal, but you know, the guys that go out there and produce consistently are the ones that deserve to play.
So psychologically,
more competitive environment on the team?
I think when you have a deep team and you have a lot of competition in every position, that's the best motivator that you can ever put on a player. I do, because these guys want more than anything to play, and when you're comfortable playing other guys, if you're not getting production, then I think that's healthy on a team. You know, that's what sports is all about.
Coach, psychologically, the way the guys won last week in double overtime, what kind of carryover would you might see or expect to see going to LSU?
Well, you know, it's always good to win when you don't play well, and I hope we learn. I think there's lessons in victory, and there's always lessons in defeat. And the lessons in this victory are, there's a number of them. How are we able to win? And I think if you look at, we kept fighting. We didn't divide internally. There was never a time where I saw the players, you know, bickering at each other, pointing fingers. I didn't see the coaches doing that. And that's important when it gets thick. And I've said that you got to stay together and just keep believing. Forget about the last series, go to the next one. And we did that, and that was good. And we made the plays we needed to make it down the stretch. So I hope that's a lesson in victory, that remember the next time we're there, let's don't divide. Let's stay in it and stay together, because there'll be more.
Derek, the 2-day break, is that something that Nick did, or is
I'm sorry, the what?
The 2-day break, giving the guys time off, is that something that Nick did when you were on his staff, or is that something you started at Louisiana Tech?
No, we did it when we had consecutive. Usually it was about 5 weeks in a row with the same schedule. I didn't have to worry about it in Tech because it was really rare to play on Saturdays there. You know, we played Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Tuesday. So we always had these different days where you could throw it in there. It kind of fit. We had some 9-day breaks, some 10-day breaks, some 2-week breaks, then some 3-day and 4-day. I mean, so we didn't have this Saturday to Saturday schedule. So I didn't have to, I did it at Tech, but it kind of fit in a real clean way when you played some of those midweek days, you know. So this is the first time I've had to do it where it was a true Monday off.
You touched on this a little bit on Saturday after the game, but the needing to work on tackling is hard when you're also trying to field a team. Are you hoping that that second day, fresher legs, you can be a little bit more physical the rest of the week?
Yeah, you know, it's going to be hard for me to compromise being physical and tackling. And if that means guys are going to get hurt, I'm going to have to live with it, because what I can't live with is watching a team that doesn't tackle well. And so I'd rather have the worst players in college football who are going to go tackle than have good players who won't tackle. So, you know, I'm sorry. I mean, we're going to be physical in practice, and we're going to tackle. And I may be kicking myself you know, in 3 weeks, but man, it's hard. I don't know what's worse. It's hard to look at a team that doesn't tackle very well, and we didn't do it Saturday. Now, so other than the Florida game, we tackled great. Tackled great. Didn't have a lot of missed tackles, and they had a lot better skill guys that would cause more missed tackles. Florida did. So it tells me it's mental. It's mental. It's mental energy. That's what it tells me.
Derek, clearly you're not giving the days off just to help Matt get healthy, but he's taken so many hits over the last couple of weeks, and that particularly helped the quarterback a little bit.
Yeah, and we don't hit him in practice. He has taken a lot of hits. I think we're leading the country in sacks probably. And that doesn't count the ones he threw away and got shell-shocked on. So we got to do a better job of protecting him, you know, and because he won't make it. But he's tough. I'll give him credit. And, you know, not many quarterbacks take a lot of hits and don't get affected. And he hasn't been.
Derek, you mentioned.
On a couple of occasions, 10 men on the field, you know, defense.
Yeah, we had 2 plays Saturday.
What happened there? How do you
We had a substitution error where a guy doesn't go in a game, and that's our fault as coaches. And, you know, we call out different personnel groupings, and the guy doesn't go in, and then it's too late to run him out there. And then from there, we went to field goal block, and it was another. We had back-to-back substitution errors. And what happens on, you know, when we're counting guys on special teams, especially when we go from defense to field goal block, the guys in the booth are watching how many guys run off and how many run on. You're assuming there's 11 out there, so 3 off, 3 on, we're good. Well, we had 10 out there, 3 off, 3 on, we're good. Well, hang on, we had 10 the last play. You know, you can't sit there and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's what happened. And we're going to correct that. That's 100% coaching.
Who's in charge of substitutions on the sideline?
We have different coaches. It depends on what we got a lot of coaches involved in substitution. So,
Derek, have you defensively substituted as much as this defense?
No.
Is that situational? Or?
We have more D linemen substituting than probably we should be. And we're just trying to figure out, you know, our best chance to win. And maybe we need to probably minimize some of that. I think we're probably doing a little too much. But let me tell you, when you play 96 snaps now, you got to do some substituting because that is a lot. We need to be in the 70s.
So you got a third down strong for 10 rounds.
We did, and we might put that defense in the future. So it confused the offense so much. The good news was we actually had one player that recognized it. That came off and said, "Coach, we only had 10 out there." Only one guy, Prentice Wagner, he came up to him. I said, we'll get it.
Derek, you.
He said the referee told him.
Oh, is that? So he didn't tell me that. That's how he knew.
Are either Tyler Wolf or Brent Brewer?
You guys are relentless. We had 10 guys out there one time in 96 plays.
Are either Tyler Wolf or Brent Brewer close to being able to give you some more snaps there at safety?
We need them to be, and we need them to play a little bit better. You know, Tyler has been playing well, doing great. He went out there and he made a mistake and blew a coverage on third down, and it was a big play for him. And then you get spooked as a coach, which we should have put him back in because he wasn't the only one making mistakes. So Tyler needs to play a little bit more. Brent's still coming around. Still, you know, he hadn't played football in 5 years. Man, it's hard.